Hi, Claudia here from Create with Claudia, and today I'm going to show you how to make these absolutely adorable earrings out of postage stamps. Excuse me. They're fun to make, they're easy to make. You'll see they only take a few minutes, and if you have some old postage stamps laying around that aren't worth anything, they're a fun way to use them up. So let's get started. I'm going to show you what all we need. First is you need your postage stamps. You need 2 of them at least. Now if you want to make them double-sided, if you have 4 of the same kind, you can put some on the back too. I don't have 4 of these, so I just have these 2. I think they're Japanese stamps. They're real pretty. They have some cherry blossoms on them. One word of note, I'm just going to put it out there. Don't use stamps if you inherited some from your grandma or grandpa. Definitely go out, and it's worth it to pay a few bucks to get a bag of stamps that you know aren't worth any money, because you just never know if you're going to use, you're going to put vinyl on these. You don't want to use the stamp that might be worth some money. So anyway, you're going to need 2 stamps. You're going to need 4 jump rings, and I like the oval ones. I think they hang better, especially because I'm going to be putting beads on them. Okay, so you need 4 of those. 2 shepherd's hooks for the earrings. 2 beads. I like to put beads on the bottom. I think they look really pretty. And it adds a little bit of weight because the postage stamps themselves don't weigh pretty much anything. So you want to put a little bit of weight on the bottom, and I think it adds a nice touch to it too. You're going to need 2 of these jewelry findings. And I have to thank viewers on my YouTube channel. I am not a professional jewelry maker. I just have some supplies I picked up at a craft store once. And every once in a while I'll do a video on jewelry making. And I know I don't use probably the correct terminology. But there are some comments on another one that helped me out a lot. So thank you to the viewers who left me comments. That helps a lot. So you need 2 of those. Then you're going to need a hole punch. And this is a mini hole punch I got. And that's to put a hole in it. You're going to need some jewelry making equipment. These are needle nose pliers and some flat nose ones. And lastly, because you want to protect the stamps, you're going to use, I used iron-on vinyl. Now you can use contact paper. I've seen that used before. Something clear that you can see the stamps with. I like this vinyl. I had some on hand for another project. It's iron-on. And it works really well with this project. And you just need a small piece of it. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is prepare your stamps. So you're going to take your vinyl. And this is always the hard part for me, is separating that vinyl from the back. It's like so, okay? And then you're going to lay, hopefully you can see it. It's sort of hard to see because it's see-through. It's tacky on this side. You're going to put the stamps on, you can get both of them on. You want to make it big enough so when you fold it over, it's going to cover the front. And then, space those stamps. Okay, so you've put these on here. Like I said, it's a little tacky. Now you're going to take this and carefully fold it over, and it's a little bit hard to do on the camera. But you want to fold it over so it's covering the stamps. I'm going to try that again. Let's try that. Because you don't want any air bubbles in it. There we go. And you're going to smooth that out. Now this is tacky, but it's not set. So if you used it like this, it would probably come apart eventually. This vinyl. So I pressed it, I make sure there's no, I finger press it, I make sure there's no air bubbles, and then depending on what kind of vinyl or adhesive you're using, what kind of clear cover you're using, you're going to take it over to your iron. Like this one is an iron-on, so I'm going to take this over to my ironing board and seal that up nicely, and I'll be right back. Okay, so right now it doesn't look that great. It'll look better when we trim it up and everything. And one thing I forgot to mention, follow your manufacturer's instruction with whichever vinyl or contact paper you're using. Some of them may not even require ironing, but this one did. And then you're going to trim these apart once it's cooled and dried. And you're going to get as close to that you know, that sort of scalloped edge as you can. Okay, now they're ready to add the fixtures to, or the findings, I guess. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to determine the center, and you're just going to have to eyeball it, and you're going to make a hole with this tiny hole punch in the top and in the bottom, about 1/8 of an inch from that edge. And I just eyeball it. You can measure it if you want to. You can mark it on the back. Just try to center it. There's one, and then you're going to flip it around. And there's the other. And I'm going to do it on the other stamp. Okay, so there, hopefully you can see those tiny little holes. And then we're ready to put these findings on. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a jump ring and the bead. Well, first thing, excuse me, that I'm going to do is add the beads like so. Hopefully you can see that. So there, that's going to hook on the bottom of the earring. And I'm going to take these round nose pliers and just very quickly make a little loop so the bead doesn't fall off. Like so. There's one, and I'll do it with the next one. Alright, so those are ready to add. Then you're going to add one of the jump rings. And this is another trick that a viewer showed me on one of my earring videos. Instead, I used to pull these apart and then pinch them back together. And they said to just sort of separate them, and I'm hoping you can see it, to the side, like so. And you're going to hook that on. Like so. And then this goes on the bottom. Make sure I know which side's the bottom of the earring. Through that hole. Let's see. And you can bend it a little bit, it won't hurt it. And then pinch them together. See, I'm just not real skilled at this. Maybe one day if I make enough earrings. I don't make that many, so it's... Alright, so there's one. Let's try the other one. Okay, so there they are. The next thing we're going to do is add the jump rings and the hoops so that you can hang them in your, or the hooks so you can hang them in your ears. So what we want to do, and I've already done it with this one, is open one of the jump rings and hook it on to that top hole that you made in the earring, in the postage stamp. And then you're going to feed that hook onto it. And then you're going to just pinch that shut, making sure, and it's kind of hard to see, that where that the two parts of that jump ring join, that it's not open, because that postage stamp is thin and it will slide through. So there's one. Now, you want the postage stamp to show on the outside of your ear, so you're going to have to make sure that these hooks are directional. So you're going to have to sort of think about where they're going to hang on your ear. Like this one's going to go on my right ear, so you're going to hang that hook the opposite way on this earring. So let's do that. Okay, so I have to think for a second which way I want it. Helps me to look at it. So in this case, I want it hanging this way. And you're going to pinch those shut. There we go, nice and secure. And that is it. I mean, how easy was that? And look how cute they are. Now you have a new cute set of earrings that barely cost any money. Make them in any color. I mean, as you know, stamps, especially old ones, and there's some beautiful stamps out there. You can make longer ones, wider ones, whatever you want. There's my purple ones with sparkly beads. So there you go. It's an easy project, a fun, easy jewelry project. I hope you give it a try. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.